So our tagline is the healthy way to lose your way. It naturally infers that there are unhealthier ways to lose your way. Now what are these unhealthier ways? Of late, in the recent past, bariatric surgery has been gaining popularity all over the world. Procedures like banding, sleeving, gastric bypass, stomach reduction are becoming more and more the favored means of losing weight. Then there is the older procedure of liposuction. All of these procedures have very damaging side effects which nobody talks about. Some of them are on the screen so that you are better aware. Then there are the so-called healthier ways of losing your weight, which are dieting, fasting, starvation, even calorie counting. Calorie counting, though true, is a half-truth. For your information, I lost all my weight when I ate the most calories, and I gained all my weight when I was calorie counting and very conscious. So what then is the healthier way to lose your weight? Is exercise the way out? Remember, this is what I had said in my video on the benefits of exercise. To lose weight, you need to be losing fat. And to do that, you need a diet which will help you to get rid or burn or metabolize the accumulated fat in your body. Exercise can work, but it requires, in addition, a diet which will help you to lose your weight the natural way. So today I'm going to talk about two concurrent and consistent always on cycles which are going on in the body, which really manage the way fat is stored and accumulated in the body, which is the cause of the way. And once you understand that, naturally reversing it becomes quite simple. So let's discuss the healthier way to lose your way. Do bear in mind that our videos are very simplistic in nature and not very scientifically oriented, because I try and make it accessible and understandable to the layperson. So the first cycle that I want to tell you about that is always going on in your body is the free fatty acid triglyceride cycle. This is a graphic of the fat cell, the adipocyte or the adipose cell or the adipose tissue. This can store triglycerides in the reservoir and then expand in size as more and more triglyceride is stored inside. But the access to the cell is small enough to only allow for a single fatty acid to enter or exit. Now most of the fat that is consumed by you or in circulation in blood is in the form of triglycerides. As I have mentioned earlier, a triglyceride is a glycerol attached to 3 fatty acids. So when at the cell, the fatty acids need to break away from the glycerol, enter the fat cell one by one. Once inside the cell, they again get attached to the glycerol and become a triglyceride. Once inside, if the fats need to be extracted from the fat cell, or meaning that your fat cells need to reduce in size, the triglyceride once again has to break away and a single fatty acid can then exit the fat cell. Do keep this in mind as we go ahead. So we just looked at how fat is stored in the body. Think of storage as a bank deposit. So you keep depositing in the bank, and whenever you require the money, you encash it again. In the same way, the body stores fats or glucose for its requirement of energy. I have told many a times that proteins are not the preferred source of energy, because the conversion of energy from protein is an energy costing reaction in itself. So this is how fat is stored in the body. Now let's look at the second cycle, how glucose is stored in the body. This brings us to the second cycle that I wanted to talk about, This is called glycogenosis, which means genesis means the making of. So the making of glycogen. In the reverse, when glycogen is broken down, it is known as glycogenolysis. So in the body, glucose can be stored either in the muscles or in the liver. The muscles store a very small amount of glucose in themselves, but it is only for localized consumption, which means that that storage of glucose is never available to the rest of the body. It's only for the use of that muscle. Whereas the glucose which is stored as glycogen by the liver can be processed, broken down and circulated back into the blood as glucose, or the liver can, if glucose is not required by the blood, it can convert it back into glycogen and keep storing it. The liver is one of the most important organs in the body. It's about 6 to 8 inches in size and about 4 pounds or almost 2 kilos in weight. Out of these 4 pounds, almost 25%, which is a pound, which is about 454 grams, consists of glycogen. So that is the amount of glucose which is stored by the liver. So 1 pound is the threshold of glycogen storage in the liver. After this, if your storage is say more than 1 pound, the liver is perforce going to send glucose into your bloodstream because it has no way to store it any further. The second thing, since we are talking about weight in this video, it is important to note that glycogen storage requires 16 parts to be stored as water in the rest of the body. So when you store a pound of glycogen, you have 16 pounds of water also stored in the body. For rapid weight loss, this could be a very easy way to lose your weight. So in the energy banking system, your deposits are either in fats or in glucose, glycogen, and as and when the body requires some money, so to say, or energy, it will extract either glucose from the liver or fats from the fatty cells. The trick lies in having low glucose deposits so that your body will not bank on glucose for energy and will start extracting the fat out of the fatty cells whenever it needs energy. So whenever you eat food, you make a deposit in your energy bank. I assume that your diet would consist of the normal regular diet, global diet, that is what people are eating these days, and that would be at about 60% of carbohydrate content. Ultimately, all nutrients have to reach the liver. The liver is not just your warehouse but also a packaging factory. Whatever are the body's requirements at that particular time, the liver's job is to package whatever is at its disposal and send it out in the bloodstream. So you've consumed your food, the nutrients have reached the liver has repackaged, and it starts sending out the nutrition into the blood. Now comes the distribution agent into play. The pancreas secretes insulin based on what the liver is giving out into the blood. And the 3 roles of insulin are: first, it tells the liver to stop sending out any more glucose into the blood, rather to convert it as glycogen and keep storing it. Then it tells the muscle cells to take up the glucose in circulation, store it or use it for energy. Lastly, if whatever glucose is left circulating in the bloodstream, it facilitates the take-up of glucose into the fat cells, into the adipose cells, the conversion of glucose into fatty acids and subsequently triglycerides. With the overuse of insulin over a period of time, the cells of the body become insulin resistant. The first cells to become insulin resistant are the liver cells and then the muscle cells. So if the liver is not listening to its instruction to convert it into glycogen and not release glucose in the bloodstream, it continues to do so. If the muscle cells are insulin resistant, they won't listen to the insulin and will not take up glucose anymore. Ultimately, with so much of glucose in circulation, the third instruction, it has to take it to the adipose cells and ask them to keep depositing glucose, converting into fatty acids and storing as triglyceride. But herein lies a catch. When insulin mediates the storage of glucose as fatty acids and as triglycerides in the fat cells, there is a byproduct called activated glycerol or alpha glycerol phosphate. This activated glycerol doesn't allow the triglyceride to break up again into the component fatty acids. So when you now need energy, because there is so much of glucose, because the glycogen is full in the liver, your body will not extract the triglycerides which have been stored as fat because of activated glycerol, and the fat deposits will continue to remain in the fat cells. So the two cycles that I spoke about, the first one was the free fatty acid triglyceride cycle, which is the formation of triglyceride from free fatty acids and the formation back of fatty acids from the triglyceride. Activated glycerol puts a halt to this, and the triglyceride keep getting stored more and more in your fat cells. The second cycle I spoke about was that of glycogenesis. Now, once your liver has stored its optimum level of 1 pound, after that the liver will not be able to store any more glucose and is forced to release glucose into the system. With the increase of glucose in your blood supply comes a lot of insulin from the pancreas, and in the presence of insulin, when insulin mediates storage of glucose as fatty acids and as triglycerides, the activated glycerol will not allow it to be broken back again and consumed. So coming back to the banking analogy, every time you eat food and make deposits, every time there is some activity or exercise, you consume from or you withdraw your deposits. The problem is, if you replenish it again with foods containing high glucose amounts or high carbohydrates, then you will replenish your glycogen stores, and once the glycogen is filled up beyond that 1 pound threshold, it will release glucose into the system. More insulin will be released by the pancreas, and insulin will be compelled to store glucose as fatty acids in the fat cells. Activated glycerol will be present. It will not allow the triglycerides to break up back into the fatty acids and be consumed by your muscles or by your body for energy. So in short, the healthy way to lose your weight is to reduce your glycogen storage in the liver and to reduce your dependence on insulin. And the only way you can do this is by reducing your intake of carbohydrates and therefore glucose. So should carbohydrate be completely eliminated? No, neither we recommend it nor that is a possibility. But you can choose wisely. Avoid the fast-acting carbs which are contained in all the sugary stuff, the cakes, pastries, chocolates, sweets, and sodas, cold drinks, packed juices. Instead of that, depend more on vegetables, pulses, lentils, sometimes grains, and that's the best way to manage your carbohydrate content in such a way that you reduce it considerably and depend less on glucose for energy. Automatically your body will start consuming fat for energy, and you will see that your fat cells shrink, and so do you. So that is the healthy way to lose your weight. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Do give your feedback and comments, and if you have liked us, please press the like button, please subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to share this video. Thanks a lot.